Hey everybody, this is Yvonne Gordon-Moser, and I am participating in the Citywide Open Studios from Wallingford, Connecticut, and the base is in New Haven at Art Space, but because of COVID, we weren't able to do it at the normal space that we do it down in West Campus of Yale at the nurses building. So I'm working out of my garage and in my condo where I live with my husband, Kelly. And I'm going to show you my art. We're actually downsizing. We're going to be moving into a RV. And so, yeah, we're going to do that in the spring. And right now we have all of my artwork on sale for more than 50% off. And so I'm just going to kind of scan around and show you some of the work that we've got. Most of the work down here is framed in Blick frames, and I've got monotypes. And I started doing masks, like the ones that everybody's wearing during COVID right now. Like this one right here, you can see this mask. I did this in 2018. It's called Titrate. And I did this when Kelly had actually had a stem cell transplant in 2018. And that's another piece of the sale that we're doing here. We're going to be contributing some of the funds from the sale to Smilow Cancer Hospital because they've been so good to him and us. And if you see a red dot on the work, you'll notice that it's been sold. So we're really grateful for that because that helps us, and it helps us to contribute a little bit too. So anyways, so I've been creating art for a long time and used to have the Branford Art Center down in Branford. And I was told not to go too fast because then it gives you whiplash, somebody said, when you're trying to see the art. This one right here I did in like 1990 something. It's a drawing, it's a charcoal. Used to be $450, it's now a whopping $50. And I actually still have the crystal wall that it was inspired by upstairs. This was a piece of the very first painting I ever did of a human being right here. And these are process pieces. They're, how do I describe them? It's kind of hard, but you kind of gotta check. They're three-dimensional. They have jewelry and feathers and other pieces. Lots of texture and just different interesting things in there. Down here, this one says, "But it is so enticing to imagine in those early tender times that anything could happen, or rather, that only the best will happen." This piece back here is a woodcut, and it has been marked down from $1,500 to $400. You can't even have something framed for $400 that big. That's a 30 by 40. And this right here, this is a canvas. It's a 48 by 60, and I've got $60 on it. I have someone who said they're interested in it, but they haven't paid for it yet, so you never know. Got a couple other pieces down here that are sold, but this is just the garage. We haven't gone upstairs yet. I've also got art materials. And then if you have a shop or something, these little things that you put your folder pieces in, or you promote your stuff, some tools. In any case, if you go to my website, which is YvonneGordonMoserArt.com, you can sign up for a virtual tour of the gallery, and actually what I've got going on upstairs too. This was a big poster. It was actually on the front of the Independent newspaper. And then this was a woodblock print that I did with the Westville group of artists. It was a steamroller event down in New Haven. I'm trying to think what else. Then want to do that whiplashy thing. We got a lot of books over here. The books are like 2 for $1, and there's guides to painting in oil, and there's some press that we had, or I had received when I had the gallery. So anyways, and then we've got little paintings down here that I did, used for guides for like doing paint nights and stuff, and then bigger canvases of things. This was actually one of my favorites, $5. But just different. And then there's a goddess, another. How's about that piece? $5, crazy. So anyways, if you're interested, and then when you come and you buy something, then you get a little freebie too, right? Little freebie. These came from Hawaii, and I did little paintings on them. Little something, show our appreciation. So anyways, that's down here. And then when you come upstairs, it's dark out here. Let me turn this around. Hello? So we're walking around the side of the condo that we rent. And if you'll bear with me, I'm just going to go up the side. That's actually our unit right there. And we're doing in-studio visits as well as virtual visits. And if you, again, go to YvonneGordonMoserArt.com, you can sign up for either or. And we're going to be doing this straight through December because, like I said, we're going to be moving into an RV. This is our front door. This is my husband and me. This was the Shoreline Times, and it says about the healing effects of art. And so there was a little article there, and if you wanted to read more about it, you could check it out on my website. And then I'm going to be in the Connecticut Magazine for the month of November. We've got a great journalist who interviewed me. I'm sure it's for a group article about the artists that have done work in 2020 dealing with COVID. So, in any case, this is our front entry and some of the artwork in our space. Kind of converted the apartment into a gallery. It reminds me of our gallery in Brantford. I love this piece. This piece is called The Tree of Emotions. And then there's a sculptural face, sun piece over next to it. And then this one here, let me see, this is the Healing Tornado. And again, this was when my husband was having, after his stem cell, and we were using masks all the time. Like now, everybody's using them in COVID, but we were walking around with masks before COVID ever was happening, and we kind of felt like the odd ones. And now everybody's wearing them, unfortunately. So this right here is a self-portrait drawing. This was Waimea Canyon in Hawaii when we got married in 2015. And Kelly was diagnosed in 2016. But if you see a red dot, that means that it has been purchased. But this is what our space looks like now. And oh my goodness, that walk up the hill kind of took my breath away. So we've got little pieces and bigger pieces. And these are woodcuts. Okay, so these pieces over here are oil paintings and collage with monotypes and, again, oil paintings. These are wood block prints. For instance, this right here was a actual piece of wood that I cut, kind of like the big one that was downstairs that I told you about I did in Westville. And so I cut that out, and then I inked it up, and then that's my husband when he was at Smilo. But I just love that. It just reminds me of Superman, because that's what I kind of see him as. And he's wonderful. And these are more woodblock prints. So I cut wood the sizes of these. These are like 20 by 24s and 20-ish by 30, somewhere around there. And then this is an encaustic, so that's wax, which encaustic is a wax painting that is one of the oldest art forms known to humans. And they used to use wax to seal boats, and somehow the wax and some pigments got mixed together, and that's how paint was formed. Now this piece I created shortly after we got home from the hospital when COVID had started, because Kelly had just had a surgery. And in March, and when we got home, I painted this on the back of a wood block. If you can tell what that is, that's the wood cut that created that print. So, in any case, that's a keeper for me. That's kind of special. And then this is a process painting. It's a mixed media. And again, the prices, this is I think it's like a 48 by 48. Might even be bigger than that, but that's 1,800. Used to be 3,500. And like these bigger pieces up here, originally the one on the left was $950, and now it was $250. You know, it's just we're trying to sell out our work because we're going into an RV. We can't take this with us. And then this one over here, this was the Queen, and I loved her. And a very dear friend is taking her. And then I've got a bunch of nudes, and this piece is pretty special. And yeah. So anyways, this is our home, and this table right here is where I created a lot of the woodblock prints. And we've got some more over here as well. And then this, the swimmer, she just sold today. And she's pretty big. She's like, I don't know, almost 40 by 30, and originally $575 unframed, and she sold for $300. And then I've got a little box over here with some more sculptural kind of things. There's a altered book, which these are great little artifacts. So you start with a book, then you create in the pages. But just taking these in an RV, that just isn't going to work. So, in any case, we've also got some other goodies like soaps for $2 and other lithographs and intaglio, which lithograph is technically an intaglio, and cards that I made, and sage, and gift sets for $10 for, look at that, tie-dye, and coloring books, and canvas, and masks, and yeah, so we're trying to kind of lighten our load, so to speak. And if you come in, you can also have, who doesn't want a Snicker? It's Halloween. And then one of the pieces I've been holding since the 90s, one of our dearest friends, Catherine, is taking home. And she's very special. But all the pieces that have been purchased will be picked up, curbside pickup at the end of the show. And so if you have any questions or you want to set up a time for a visit or a virtual visit,